Hello, welcome back to my channel. And welcome to the start of another weekly reading vlog. I am so happy to have you here with me. This week is gonna get interesting. I have so much stuff I want to get done. I feel like last week, the weekly reading vlog was not great. The reason for that is because I was chillin'. I got pretty much no reading done except for what was required for a planned TBR content. And this week, my friends, I am going to get stuff read. I have quite a bit of stuff on my currently reading shelf on Goodreads. I am going to plug in my AirPods, clean my house, get stuff done, get some of my new art on the walls, get my office decluttered. I have many things to accomplish this week, but specifically I have very many things to accomplish today. Mondays are my slow day at work, so that means I have a lot of time between things to kind of, I don't know, get shit done. Get shit done we will. So I'm gonna go ahead and start time-lapsing, and I will be checking things off my to-do list as I do. Historically, I have, given you a whole rundown on what I'm doing, but I think it's better if you just visualize, see what a mess my life currently is.
Tell me, babe, where are you going? Prairie wind goes on blowing. Tumbleweed shadow, I'm tied to you. Tell me, babe, what are we gonna do? 'Cause you got me in the best bed, spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it. In the light, I had a vision. In the dark, a premonition. You took my dreams and now I'm bound to you. Tell me, babe, what are we gonna do? 'Cause you got me in the best bed, spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it. 'Cause you got me in the best bed, spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it. Pick me up, put me down. Why you keeping me around? You're my illusion.
Hello, my loves. I am in the passenger seat, and you know what that means. We're going to be doing a crumble cookie review whenever Hayden gets out of this long-ass line. The flavors this week looked so good. I'm very excited about it. But I thought I would update you on my reading and also, like, all the stuff I got done yesterday. You saw what I got done, but I feel so good about it. It's so nice starting my week and, like, getting all of the things done that I need to get done. Wow. Gotta love living in Texas. So many trucks to pass by my car. But I didn't get much reading done yesterday, which is a shame. But I did finish Forbidden Promises, which was a book that I was reading in the last vlog. Kind of talked about it a little bit. It ended up being a 3-star read for me, but it did kind of spur my interest in the rest of the things that I'm going to be reading for this weekly reading vlog. This is like a mass market paperback romance that I was sent from Harlequin a couple of years ago. I made a video reading like 5 mom rom books, I called them. So basically just like mass market romances. Not historicals necessarily, but like basically Harlequin books. And I didn't really give those books the most favorable reviews, but Harlequin reached out to me and was like, hey, we have some stuff that might be more your speed. And so they sent me 2 books that were definitely for a younger age demographic, which was really cool. And Forbidden Promises is one of them. I didn't love this book, but I actually had a really good time with it. So I kind of don't care that it wasn't perfect. I ended up giving it 3 stars. It's about our main character, India, who at the start of the story is having to come back to her family's home. I can't remember exactly why she had to go back home, but her family owns a tobacco company in, I think, North Carolina. Her older brother, I think, is running for like senator or something like that. I'm actually not entirely sure like what office of government he's running for, but he's running for office of government. He's going to propose to his like very recent girlfriend, and so the family's kind of up in arms about this. There's also the older sister who wants to be the CEO of the company, take over from their dad. Their dad's kind of a hard ass. He's going to marry his mistress. It's kind of all giving dynasty vibes, which I really liked because it's this like rich black southern family. I don't know, the vibes are definitely excellent, and I liked the soapy feel of it, but I feel like the romance between India and her sister's ex-husband, like it wasn't as developed as I really wanted it to be, which was kind of disappointing because I was rooting for them. Like I love a forbidden relationship, and I mean, how juicy is it to like go after your sister's ex-husband? But ultimately the romance wasn't like that well developed, and the ending was sort of weird too. Like they definitely end up together, but it's more like a happy for now rather than a true happily ever after. And with it being so soapy, I wanted it to be a true happily ever after, especially since though it's a series, they're not going to be doing multiple books for each couple, if that makes sense. But I would be interested to read more in the series. I really want to know what happens to the older sister who's like wanting to be the CEO and who's kind of like messy and maybe kind of a little bit drinks too much. Her name's Elena, and I kind of want to like read her story. So I might pick up more books in the series in the future. So I guess hats off to Harlequin for like kind of nailing my taste in books, which is like kind of melodramatic, over the top, written for a younger audience. So I finished that one, and it kind of, I don't know, I was looking at my shelves, and I really desperately, for these weekly reading vlogs, need to get back into reading the books on my shelves. Not that I haven't been doing that, but I was really staring down the barrel of my TBR, and I was like, I need to figure out ways to creatively read these books in these weekly reading vlogs so it's fun and zesty and interesting. I think this week I'm going to try and read as many mass market paperback romances as I can. I have quite the variety. I have like old school historicals, I have newer historicals, I have old contemporaries. One of them, no, actually I'm reading this for a different video this week, fuck. One of them is actually about a female magician. More to come on that. I think you will see that video before this one, but if you haven't seen my I read 5 books I regret buying, go and watch that. The book I'm talking about is Honest Illusions by Nora Roberts, but I have so many mass market romances and I just want to get through them, and they're all kind of like color coordinated. They're all like orange, pink, and yellow, and I don't know, aesthetically it just sounds nice. I'm gonna read those this week. I think the first one actually that I'm going to pick up, one that I conveniently got an audiobook for because I'm gonna need that this week, because I'm trying to read for that books I regret buying video as well. I have Yours Until Dawn by Teresa Medeiros checked out, but I also have My Fake Rake by Eva Leigh? I don't know. This one, I think this is sort of like he's sort of a nerd, historical romance. Does that make sense? He's not a rake, fake rake. She's like turning him into a rake, so he's like more fuckable or something, and then she wants to fuck him, I think is the premise. So looking forward to that. Things that I'm reading, I think that's pretty much it. I do need to finish Emerald Blaze, and maybe I'll like mention but at some point, though it doesn't really fit in the mass market romance like thumbnail that I'm envisioning in my head. Honestly, half of these vlogs is just me figuring out like what the thumbnail is gonna be. Oh, let's get serious here. I did start Magnolia Parks today. I'm telling you this now because I want to give you a little bit of like a cookie crumb sprinkle. If you're watching this, the vlog that's going to include Magnolia Parks I don't think is going to be until like mid-September, so I'll give you a little sprinkle here. I'm like 60 pages into this book, and boy, I have thoughts. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just so fucking hard to parse through and to understand. This writer, she was like, okay, I'm gonna throw 5 or 6 men at you. You need to keep them apart. You need to understand their relationships. You also need to understand why this chick is like hanging out with all of them. You're also gonna try to figure out why this woman has this man sleep in her bed all the time, but they're not actually together, but they're in love, okay? But he cheated on her, but there's like a lot of other stuff going on. And I'm just like, I like angst, don't get me wrong, but I'm feeling a lack of realism big time. And like, it's not supposed to be realistic. It's like Gossip Girl set in London, like I get it. But I think what's like kind of fucking me up right now, besides the writing, which is genuinely, the first chapter was a fucking wreck in my head. Like I could not get through it. Why is this guy so obsessed with her? She seems kind of irritating, to be honest. And I'm not saying that like flawed characters, you know, shouldn't exist. She seems kind of unbearable. And he's like, he has 22 tattoos, all dedicated to her. And yet he cheated on her, and yet they're not together. And like, it's not giving Chuck and Blair to me, though that is a toxic relationship as well that I think this one's being compared to. I'm not buying it. And I want to buy it, but I have not bought it. So, I don't know. I'm gonna stop rambling because we got a cookie review to get to. I mean, Hayden's still, you know, in line, but all of that to say, maybe things will turn around. I'm not convinced that they will, but for the love of Live, Laugh, Love, I'm praying that they do, because I spent money on the physical copy of this book. I mean, I actually didn't spend money. I had an Amazon gift card. But that being said, I have the physical manifestation of hype, I guess, in my house. So I would like to finish it and I would like to enjoy it, but I'm just not there yet. Ooh, the glow. The light's not as good on you, but it's great on me. So
Do not care. Honestly, the less light on me, the better.
well, today, my friends, I'm back for another crumble cookies review. Like I said, I'm feeling some warmth. I'm feeling some heat.
They said one of them is really hot, fry bread one.
All right. Well, let's crack this puppy open.
Like, I'm pretty sure she said careful.
Well, that's never good, but looking pretty cute. I don't want to tip it too much because then the things go everywhere. We have red velvet pie.
An Oreo sandwich pie thing, I don't know.
Strawberry.
Strawberries and cream, I think.
It's called something else, but something like that. And then fry bread with dollop of cinnamon sugar.
Butter.
And boy, oh boy, am I ready to crack into these puppies. And I was almost not going to get the Oreo one, but
what?
The Lord led me to her.
In what world would you have not gotten the Oreo
but here's the thing.
one?
It's whipped cream on the inside, and I'm not a whipped cream girl.
You'll be just fine.
Okay, let's start with the ones that are less likely to blacken the teeth. First up, we got the fry bread, and she's buttered.
Is she hot?
She's warm. Yeah, I'll let you know that. Kind of smush this right here so I can get a taste
Oh,
of
yeah.
that cinnamon.
How did you demolish this? Ass is falling out of
I
it.
was about to say the same thing. It's almost like we're married.
I like it a lot.
That's good, because I don't need you bogarting on my...
Honestly, that's like if a Cinnamon Toast Crunch was a cookie. That's what that tastes like to me. It has a very similar, like, cinnamon sugar flavor. Mm-hmm. It's not just that it's cinnamon sugar. It's, like, very specifically similar to Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Now, this one, I was worried that this one would be too similar to the raspberry from, was it last week or the week before? Not real
You can
sure.
already tell that it's not.
I can already tell that it's not. The cookie base is less gravel forward and more cookie-like.
It's because it doesn't have the graham cracker crumbs in it.
I don't like whipped cream, so texturally it's not my favorite, but...
Very good flavor, though. I saw them in there cutting up strawberries to make the strawberry sauce.
And that's quality you can count on.
I mean, I kind of agree with you. It's like mostly kind of bland, and it's texturally not...
I mean, it's better
It's not like my favorite, but it's not bad at all. I do like the strawberry flavor.
Yeah, the strawberry is definitely... The berry be berrying. I wonder if the berry would like that.
You tell me, honestly.
I think
the berry
he
is
would.
an enigma.
He is an enigma. My dad, we call him J Berry. This is going to be hard to eat. It's a good
For
thing.
you?
It's a good thing I have a big mouth.
Just unhinge that jaw a little bit, like you normally do. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna like the cream in the middle. Yeah. Oh, going in for a 2-biter?
No.
Am I ever gonna get to try this?
I think you'll like it because it's not, it's not cream cheesy.
You say that like I don't like cream cheese.
No, I know you do, but it's a little lighter.
The thing that I like about it,
It's very grippable.
it's very chocolate cookie forward, which like as
Yeah.
I've gotten older is my favorite part of the Oreo. I'll just eat this little bit that got left. We can try it at the same time.
You're trying to romance me.
You've had the red velvet from here before, right?
Actually,
Pretty good.
Actually, don't know. I might have only had the pink velvet.
It's pretty good. But just that bite,
Ooh.
because it wasn't like completely covered in frosting. I'm sure I've said this before, but the ones that are like just covered in frosting, not my fave. She loves them. That edge piece that I had, texturally was my favorite bite of all of these. It
It's
had
very
like a very
cupcakey.
like, oh no, I mean it had like a crisp outside.
It
It
does
was
have a
almost like a
crisp
little
outside.
like crunchy, you know?
But the inside, it's like, it tastes like a cupcake.
I feel like I have Oreo just all in my face.
Oh,
now.
yeah. On my face, in my teeth. Yeah.
All of them, that one definitely stuck around the most.
Definitely looks like I ate mulch. I do like mulch.
Ain't nothing different.
I don't know. I don't think I've talked about this. I don't know why I would have talked about this, but I like mulch a lot.
She loves the flavor. How it kind of like cleans in between your teeth when you chew it.
I like the way it looks when it's freshly laid. I like ripping into the bags and just watching it all pour out into my garden. We're gonna rank these. We forgot
Oh,
to...
we're gonna rank them.
You wanna rank them?
Yeah.
I would say overall this is a pretty good week.
Yeah. I would say for me personally, fry bread number 1.
Okay.
Because less
Sure.
icing. Oreo number 2, because I really liked the texture and the flavor of the chocolate cookie part.
Yeah. She popped off.
Really good, even though it like sticks in your teeth. And then red velvet, and then strawberry. Strawberry still wasn't bad for me, but I just think like texturally it was the worst. The strawberry is a good flavor, but it's the only flavor, and it's like very strong. If you like strawberry, you'll like it.
Well, let's not go too far.
Texturally, it's like
It's a mush.
not the best. Yeah, it's
I don't know, this is really tough. I think I'm gonna have to go red velvet number 1. If there's cream cheese on the menu, best believe Chandler's eating it, and it's probably gonna be number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna have to say Oreo, because she surprised me. I wasn't expecting to like her. I almost didn't get her because I don't like whipped cream, but this whipped cream is good, and it adds a lightness that this cookie, I think, desperately needs, being kind of a cocoa-y taste. And then I'm gonna have to go fry bread, and then I'm gonna have to go Miss Straub's.
so I guess that means like overall Oreo's the winner since we
Yeah.
both put it at number 2.
She definitely is the underdog that we needed. you
Yeah,
know?
it's a pretty good one. Like it more than I was anticipating liking it, and I think it's because it's less sweet than I thought it would be.
I would Lady in the Tramp it with you. Absolutely. Hello, happy Friday. It's been a second since we last talked. I have been reading for my secret TBR video. Ugh, this hair is driving me nuts. But I thought I would pop in and say hey before I hop onto some reading sprints. I have a couple of new pairs of shoes that I got yesterday when I was out with Hayden, and I wanted to show you them because, you know, what is a weekly reading vlog without me buying shit? And then I also have books to discuss. I know I actually have been reading for this video. So I already talked about Forbidden Promises. That was the first book that I finished. Started in on My Fake Rake, and I like briefly talked about it but didn't really get into details about it, which is okay. I ended up giving this book 2 stars, which was a little disappointing. I really wanted to enjoy the relationship between Grace and Sebastian. Basically, Grace is trying to like woo this guy who she thinks is like brainy but also sexy and kind of a rake, but she can't seem to like catch his attention. So she's going to turn her best friend Sebastian into a rake, but she ends up falling for Sebastian. The issue is that like the majority of the book is spent with Grace trying to like woo this other guy and not really spent developing a relationship with Sebastian. And the times that she spends with the guy that she's trying to like woo it's uncomfortable. Like she just is so lacking social grace, which is interesting because her name's Grace, that it was just not fun. I was like secondhand embarrassed the majority of the time reading this book. I wish that Sebastian had like communicated his feelings towards Grace in the first place, because like she sees him without glasses on at the beginning of the story and is like, oh, he's so hot. So like, why don't you just get with him? I don't know. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And it seems like that's a pretty universal feeling. I looked at the Goodreads reviews for this and it's not good. I don't know why I personally purchased this one. I think it was because it was like kind of hyped when it came out. Like people were excited for this one. I've never read Ava Lee before. I think it's Ava Lee. This came out in 2019. I guess I've had it that long. That's wild to me. I mean, it is really like, it's a cute cover, but this just was okay. And then I started these 2 baddies. I started Yours Until Dawn by Teresa Medeiros, Scandal of the Year. Scandal of the Year I have the audiobook for. This one I'm reading an ebook copy, and you're probably like, okay, you have these, why? And you know what? I prefer audiobooks and ebooks. I just do. It's more convenient to read. Something about a mass market paperback, for the most part, is intimidating. Okay, this one's not that bad. The majority of the time, like the font's too small and it stresses me out. Okay, so let's start with Scandal of the Year. This is one that I picked up on audio, and I'm not that far into it, so I don't know that much about it, but the beginning of the story is like pretty juicy, and I feel like feels like a Loretta Chase book that kind of starts the same way, where our heroine is before a divorce court and she is having to say like, hey, I was adulterous. I ended up sleeping with a man, and the man is named Aiden, and Aiden is the hero of this book. So I guess she was married to someone else. She wants a divorce from that person, or like is getting a divorce from that person, and she has to admit that she was adulterous. And Aiden, I think at this point, is looking for his bride. Like he's looking to marry someone, but he's haunted by that one night that he and Julia spent together. I'm so bad with character names. I'm intrigued. That opening is definitely keeping me interested, and it's only a 9-hour audiobook, so I can definitely like squeeze that in. I say definitely squeeze that in tonight. Maybe squeeze that in tonight, because I'm actually trying to finish up a pretty long YA fantasy for the video I'm posting on Sunday, so we'll see. The one that I think is intriguing me more, though, is Yours Until Dawn by Teresa Medeiros. I think this is like her most popular romance. I don't know that much about her. I do have 2 of her books. One of them is like a vampire historical romance, which is kind of fun. This one is, I think, a Beauty and the Beast retelling, or like a loose Beauty and the Beast retelling. At the start of the story, our hero, I think he's recently lost his vision, and he's kind of a grump. All of the people in his household are like kind of scared of him, and they're looking to hire a nurse for him to kind of like help get him back on his feet and, you know, get him back to being the kind of guy that he was. He was abandoned by his fiance. It's kind of in some ways also reminded me of the first book in the Girl Meets Duke series by Tessa Dare. And Samantha comes to this like palatial country estate, and I don't think she has like the best background to be doing this. Like, she's not qualified, but she's damn sure gonna like assert herself. She ends up interviewing, and the people interviewing her are not like impressed by her qualifications, but they're like, oh, I don't think she's like old enough to do this, right? It's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I see that he's a grump. I'm gonna stay anyway. Like, I'm gonna take this on for myself. He is haunted by her scent at the very beginning. So we'll see like where that goes, but I'm intrigued. I love a good like damaged hero, and the writing of this feels very accessible, which I really appreciate. Sometimes I like a historical that feels a little bit more historical, for lack of a better word. Sometimes I want something that's just like easy to get through, but like in a historical setting. And this one, I would say the one by Miss Laura Lee Gerke feels accessible, but maybe a little bit more historical-y. So anyway, these are the ones I'm reading. I'm definitely going to try to finish these in the next like day or 2. So that will leave me having read 4 historicals. I would like to get to like a 5th, but we'll see. I do still have to finish Magnolia Parks for the live show on Sunday that I'm doing on my Patreon. For people who aren't on my Patreon, the review for Magnolia Parks will be in a video in September, so you're gonna have to wait a little bit, but I'm almost done with this. I have thoughts and feelings, let me tell you. Let me show you the shoes I got though, and then I'll show you the area rug I got. Y'all, I feel like my bedroom is coming together, and I'm so pleased with it. I feel like my home in general is coming together. I've lived in this house for over 2 years at this point, and it's a whole home. You have have to slowly over time start decorating things and trying to like flesh out a space, but I feel like I'm finally getting the hang of my style and just like what is needed in a space, and I'm just loving it. I feel like the rug was a really good idea. We do have carpet in our bedroom, and so I didn't think like, oh, we need a rug. I think it helps bring in pattern and a little bit of like fun to the space. I mean, it's a neutral patterned rug. It's not that exciting, but I think it looks good and I'm excited about it. Shoes, okay? I want to start posting pictures of outfits and stuff. I want to have a good time. I want to live my best life and also accept where I'm at in life. Does that make sense? Okay. I think we all have like a dream self that we buy for. You know, we'll buy these like really cute outfits. Like, oh my God, wouldn't it be so cute if I had a plaid skirt? Okay. I work from home. When the fuck am I gonna wear a plaid skirt, you know? And I feel like in the past I've done that. I have like all really oversized sweatshirts that are not like the cutest, and I have like really fancy stuff that I never wear. And I feel like I need a little bit more in between, which leads me to why I bought 2 pairs of sneakers / tennis shoes. We call them tennis shoes in Texas, okay? I got 2 pairs of neutral shoes and they're really cute, okay? I'm very pleased with them. These I could see in a couple of different settings, not like a true athletic setting. Like I wouldn't wear these with like a true athletic outfit, but athleisure, yes. Like leggings and a cute sweatshirt. My New Balances. They are kind of like a creamy color, obviously. They've got a little bit of a like leopardy pattern on the back, but I don't think it's too in your face. And they actually look pretty good on the foot, and they're really comfortable. I tried on some Nikes that had like a lot of elevation to them and they were not comfy, so these were super like fun, and I feel like these are a little bit more on the not dressy side, but definitely not like you could wear them to the gym, in my opinion. I mean, I guess you could, but I wouldn't. These ones I like because I could wear them to the gym, or I could wear them with leggings and a cute shirt. They're cute. They have like a little bit of a kind of lavender, I guess, stripe running through them right here, but for the most part they're just like a cream on white pair of tennis shoes, and I just, oh, they're stunning. So pretty much very similar, but very different uses. We need them. I'll link to these in the description if you're in the market for shoes and these interest you. I got these both from Academy. These were on like mega sale. These were not, but they were both under $100 individually, that is. I feel like I did pretty well. I have another pair of shoes coming. I know. Who needs more sneakers? I do, I guess. They're white Nike Air Maxes, and I don't know if I'm gonna like them or not, but they're coming, and we'll see. I'll let you know how those go. But I'm very excited because the only sneakers right now that I have are like black, and you know, black sneakers are nice, but I like some variety. So the rest of the day, I have a lot of stuff I need to get done. To finish a YA fantasy book, I need to get through, I would say, at least one of these books, or finish Magnolia Parks. I can't really decide which I'm gonna do. And then tonight, Hayden's making us a pesto pasta. Again, I have charged up my old vlog camera for him, so hopefully he will get some good footage for us. Little B-roll magic moment, and if he is following a recipe, I'm not sure if he is, but if he is, I'll leave that in the description. So also I do need to do reading sprints for some of these books. So I'm gonna go do that. I will be back in the evening time. It's like 2:45 right now, but I will hop back on around like, I don't know, dinner time. Just as the lawnmower goes off outside, forget that I don't have the copy of the book that I'm reading in front of me right now. Happy Sunday. It's been a second since we talked. I think the last time I updated you was Friday. Saturday, I spent time with my little sister and Hayden. We ended up going to a sushi restaurant. I'm not a sushi gal, but my sister and my husband are, so I went for them. And then I had McDonald's. It was a good night. I had a really fun time with them, and I didn't do any reading, and I don't care. I felt good about it. Edited and uploaded my video for today. Had the live show for Magnolia Parks. So I feel like I've gotten a lot done, but I feel like I haven't done as much reading as I want to do. So my goal for tonight is to finish the books that I talked to y'all about last time we spoke, which are Scandal of the Year and Yours Until Dawn. And then I'm actually almost finished with Mistletoe Cottage by, I think, Debbie Mason. I have the audiobook for this one. Why am I reading a Christmassy romance at a time that's not Christmas? I don't really know, though I will say this book doesn't really feel very Christmassy. Wow, this book is interesting. It's about our main character Sophie, and she and her daughter Mia have recently moved back to Sophie's hometown, and Sophie's daughter, I want to say, is like 4 or something like that, and Sophie for Mia's entire life has assumed that daughter is this guy Michael's. Like, she kind of dated Michael, she kind of had a thing with Michael, and he got her pregnant at 19, and she just like never told him about it, I guess. Now she's back in town and she's trying to figure out like how to tell Michael about it. She's also trying to kind of get back on her feet. She had a little bit of a mishap in the last place she lived. I don't remember where exactly it was. There's a situation where CPS was called, and now she's kind of trying to deal with that as well, even though she's like moved to a different town, and like she didn't really do anything wrong. We just got a major plot twist, which I'll tell you because, I mean, no offense, like, who's gonna read this? Like, I don't think y'all are really, like, I'll tell you the tea, okay? Basically, Sophie has had a crush on this guy named Liam for a long time, and Liam is Michael's cousin. Michael is the guy that she thought was her baby daddy, but is not actually. She finds out actually that it was Liam, and that Liam took advantage of her. Like, she was drunk. She says she doesn't know it was him, but like Liam is Mia's father, and a lot of flirtation and stuff going on between Sophie and Liam. Now she's like, I don't know if I want to be with this man because he took advantage of me, but also I really like him and he's like my baby's father, but like I don't want her to know him and I don't want him to have custody, and so it's just getting very twisty and turny. I definitely understand why she's upset. Like, she was drunk that night and, you know, she didn't know that it was him. Like, she literally thought that her baby's father was someone else, so like I get her anger, but I'm assuming it's going to be a romance between the two. I don't know. I mean, they're going to end up together, so it's just an interesting book. I'm going to put it that way. The reason that I'm still listening to this is because it is so mild and palatable, and I can tune out and then tune back in, still understand everything that's going on, which I'm really actually liking. Sometimes it's nice to just listen to something passively and it be pleasant to listen to, and then every once in a while you get like a wild plot twist. Definitely not the best thing I've ever read, but you know what? I own it. I wanted to, you know, get it done because I own it. I think I have this one upstairs. I thought I had brought it down here for some reason, but it's not in my stack of mass markets over there. I brought the other two over here. I also have this one on audio and this one that I'm like farther into now, ebook format, though honestly I might just pick up and read the mass market today. So I want to get these all done today because Hayden is actually playing a show tonight. He's only in one band at the moment, so he doesn't play as often as he used to, but you know, whenever he gets the opportunity he tries to take it, and so he's doing that. But he'll be home really late tonight, and I can't decide if I want to try to attempt to sleep if he's not here. It always goes poorly because he'll come back and wake me up, so I'm like, maybe I'll just like stay up really late and finish these ones and update you as I do that. Reading updates have been a little skimpy this week, but you know, it's fine. I was actually kind of considering what I'm going to read for next week, and I think I'm going to try to read the Truly Devious series. I think that would be fun. I honestly think that I'm going to try to do that for like a lot of the weekly reading vlogs coming up this fall, because I do have a lot of like YA fantasy series and things like that I want to read. Why not have them in a video, you know? So like, if anyone is like, hey, what are your thoughts and feelings on Six of Crows? I can direct you to that video. That hasn't happened yet, but it will, maybe. I'm gonna go ahead and finish Mistletoe Cottage, and then I'm gonna get into one of these and we can get her done, because I feel like it'd be really nice to have gotten 5 books read. I'm filming my wrap up for August tomorrow, and I'm at 20 books right now, which is awesome, but like 23 would be better. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these done, and I'll keep you posted as I do. Okay, so I finished Mistletoe Cottage, and I didn't really like this. I ended up giving it like 2 stars. I guess it could have been a 3-star, but I really didn't like the premise of the guy like taking advantage of her and then him being the hero. It also felt like the central conflict in this book was weird, and I didn't mention it earlier, but there's like a ghostly presence that I thought was a little bit strange and unsettling. At the beginning of this book, the owner of this like inn or bed and breakfast or whatever ends up passing away. She's like 104 and she like haunts people and she like looks over them. And I don't know if she's supposed to be like the ghost of Christmas past or Christmas spirit. I don't know. It's just sort of a bizarre addition that I didn't really love. Also like this big event that is hinted that's going to happen, this wedding that's going to happen and like save everybody doesn't end up happening, but apparently everything's okay anyway. Also the random marriage that happens like kind of out of nowhere. No. I'm glad I finished it, but no. I have since gotten, not very far, but like a little bit farther into Scandal of the Year, and I actually am enjoying this one. The banter is definitely giving Loretta Chase for sure. Like if you have read any of her books before, you know that her writing is pretty distinct, I would say, compared to some other historical romance authors, and she really focuses on, I don't want to say older heroines, but people who typically have a little bit more life experience. She doesn't do a lot of like blue stocking kind of characters, and I don't know if this author typically does, but our heroine is a divorcee, and so she's got a little bit more worldly experience maybe than some of the other heroines you might have read in historical romance. Julia is trying to figure out what she's going to do now that she is divorced. She doesn't have as much money as she should. She's still getting like an allowance from her husband, I think, or is it her brother? I don't know. She's getting an allowance, but she's having to use it to pay off her debts. So she kind of doesn't know what she's going to do for the rest of her life. She doesn't want to be a paid courtesan mistress. She doesn't want to open her own business. She's not really sure what to do. And she's also trying to kind of meddle in the life of Aiden, who is our hero. And again, he is the one that like had sex with our heroine and is kind of the reason that our heroine got a divorce. And he is in the midst of like courting some other women and like trying to get married, to have a suitable heir or whatever. Apparently he's a duke, so that's fun. He is haunted by Julia because she's like at these society gatherings. Like she has scandal in her life, but like she hasn't been shunned by her friends and she's trying to like slowly re-enter society and stuff. So I don't know. I'm liking it. It's pretty good. It's not like, groundbreaking, original, so fun, but I am feeling the chemistry between the two of them. I feel like the one, encounter that they've had so far that we've seen on page, I liked. So I'll be curious to find out more. I have not read any more of Yours Until Dawn. And in fact, I'm actually going to go and take a shower because, as you've probably seen, my hair is like so pathetic and limp. So I will probably update you one final time tomorrow, hopefully having finished both of these books. Knowing me, probably just one, but you know what? I'm gonna hype myself up. I'm gonna try to finish these books and then I will get back to you tomorrow, finish this vlog off, and then I'll be starting another vlog. Happy Monday, friends. It is the end of the road, and we did pretty good this week. Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't actually finish Yours Until Dawn, but 4 out of 5 ain't bad. I guess I can tell you my final thoughts on Scandal of the Year by Miss Laura Lee Gerke. This didn't end up being very good. I was kind of upset because I liked our hero and our heroine was like unlikable, but in a unique way. I kind of appreciated it. Like she wasn't someone I had read a ton of times before. So I was like, okay, like I'm open to this, right? But my issue with the story, right? Julia was married and ended up cheating on her husband with Aiden. And we find out the details of that. Essentially, she didn't actually cheat on her husband. She just wanted her husband to think that she cheated because he was abusing her. She wanted to get out of this situation. And the best way to do it was basically to trap Aiden into appearing to have cheated with Julia. So they never actually consummated their attraction for each other. And she never really like clarified what she was doing, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't like that she tricked Aiden. I wish she could have confided in him, even if it was after the fact, about what had been happening to her so that he could understand why she did what she did. And then they could have, I don't know, perhaps had a successful romantic relationship earlier on. It was just frustrating. I really felt sympathetic towards Julia. Obviously, like her situation was terrible and you get to see her multiple times trying to find a man to have an affair with so that she can get out of this terrible marriage, but it just didn't really work for me. And I just felt that her unlikable personality could have been okay on its own, but she was never very honest with Aiden. And so at the end of the story, I was just kind of like, Like y'all had sexual chemistry, but like it wasn't enough to overcome the issues that I had with the story. So I had 3 2-stars and 1 3-star. I actually would recommend Forbidden Promises. This is actually a pretty fun story, and I do kind of want to continue on with the series. I won't be doing it anytime soon, but like it's pretty solid. We'll be finishing Yours Until Dawn here pretty soon because it's on my currently reading shelf, and like I tried to finish those ones. So overall, like a pretty solid, successful reading week. I am hoping to do probably another week like this fairly soon because I do want to get these mass market paperbacks of my physical TBR, and I still have quite the stack, let's be honest. I went a little bit ham, I think, back in 2020 buying a bunch of historicals. This week, I'm going to be doing something a little different and picking up the Truly Devious series. So if you want to hear my thoughts on these books, come back next Tuesday and you can see my thoughts and feelings on these. That is it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love y'all so much, and until next time.